Have you ever find yourself that some things are not working? For those who are employed in the corporate sector, have you ever find yourself that something is not working the way it's supposed to be working? To some extent, you feel like, why is such and such a thing happening, yet it's not the correct way? You feel it's not the correct way. More so, if you've gone to a company or you've been employed into a company, it's a new company, and it's not the kind of procedure that is supposed to be going on or being undertaken, and you find yourself like, how come this usually happens? Or have you ever found that some people, you don't know the exact job description, but they're existing in that particular organization or a business premises? You just see them there, but you can't question their being. When you try to question, someone tells you, yeah, relax. That is a form of office politics, company politics. Do you know there's also politics in family? Yes. Join me into this 10-minute session, and kindly, if you're new to this particular channel, subscribe and like this particular channel. Again, I put a disclaimer. These are just my own views and observation. I've not said they've been casted on stone, so I should not be held liable or appear to be like backbiting or snitching into any person's business. So let's dive right into it so that I don't take much of your time. So number one, how do you manage, or what is office politics and how do you manage them? There's that myth of hard work. Many people think that because they work hard, they actually deserve to be treated in a certain way, or because they're selling more, or because they're bringing in the big figures, or because they're bringing in the big clients, they deserve to be treated better. Then you'll find yourself that the people who do nothing according to you, they totally do nothing, but they earn 10 times more than you. Yes, you go outside there, you go in the field, you pitch a lot of clients, you brought big clientele, they're billing billions of dollars. But the person who just sitting in that corner office of theirs, just maybe what you usually assume is that they usually just sign some books and some papers and sit behind the computer and they're being paid much. Trust me, people of the internet, don't you ever go and question them or question anyone who's linked to them. It's like you'll be taking your finger and putting it in a burning candle. You are the one who will get burned. Such like kinds of people, just study them. Study all their roots, study all their cultures and their ways. You'll find there's something they should do. But because you assume because you bring the figures and the numbers, then you don't deserve to be. You deserve to be treated in such a way, or you deserve certain bonuses. No, it does not work like that. That is part of office politics. That person you think they don't work, they truly work. Point number 2 is that visibility versus fairness. Yes, you're the one who's bringing numbers. Yes, you're the one who's the best performing this year, the last month, last year. So something lies to you that you're supposed to be visible in everything, in any kind of conversation, in any kind of trip, or in case when people are being taken to a tour somewhere, you tend to assume you deserve the right to be given that opportunity because you're the one who should. Have you ever wondered if you're working in an organization, when companies are taking people abroad for site visiting or maybe for benchmarking, you're not even amongst you're not even in the list. You don't even appear anywhere. Yes, you're the one who sells more. Or to some extent, you come to see that it's the same people. Maybe you've been into this company or this corporate setting for 10 years. It is the same people who've been going that are usually going. And there's nothing good or new or unique that they're doing that you're not doing. So you tend to want to be visible. You only want yourself to be visible. And you keep on asking, why am I not the one who's usually on the front line? Yet you're the one who's bringing the numbers. You're the one who's bringing the bigger clientele. You're the person who's moving the products. If that company is selling products, you're the best in the customer care. You guys offer online services. You tend to want to think about it. Another point is learn how to build allies. Work with people. One of the 48 rules of power is let people work for you. Tend to work with people. Associate yourself with people. Don't think because you are bringing the numbers or because you're the person who's bringing the biggest clientele, then you can work alone. It has been said time and again that if you want to go somewhere very far, work with people. If you want to go fast, walk alone. So you have an option. Do you want to go very fast or you want to go very far? Always employ the use of other people's forces. Join hands together. Another point is understanding the power structures. Now, in any organization, there are very many power structures. Power structures, I mean, like there's what you call the manager, the assistant manager, the supervisor, the CFO, who is the financial controller, the HR, the administrator, the warehousing, the logistics, the one in charge of the canteen, the one in charge of the dining area. Learn to know those powers. Those people have their own power. The showroom manager, the display manager, you see, the overall sales manager, the overall HR. Learn to know the powers that these people usually have within their reach. If you want to test them, just try pricking one of the staffs on your junior employees. Is when you'll see their powers. You've heard this term where people say, we are exercising our powers. Let me try and exercise my powers. Maybe you've been given to be in charge of a certain category and someone does not know. Learn to identify this particular power so that you don't offend the wrong person. Again, we go back to the 48 laws of power. Do not offend the wrong person. Learn these powers that these people usually have. Once you've already learned, learn to know where does their power end. How far can their powers reach? You might end up even misbehaving with someone who can end up even putting more weight for you to be terminated or your contract to be done, or to be shifted into a more volatile place or an unfamiliar grounds or territory. Learn to know each and every individual's power. Even that colleague of yours where you've never had any title of them being given in that company, just learn them. Some of them, they don't need titles, but they have powers. Maybe they're so close to the HR. Maybe they're so close to the supervisor, or they're a relative to the supervisor. So learn each and every person's power. Another point is that document everything for your defense. Remember, I usually tell a lot of my friends, a lot of my business partners, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my relatives, when you just talk and talk and talk, we call that hearsay. Hearsay does not hold water in any court of law or in any kind of setup. Learn to document everything. Those emails they've been sending you when you're there, just learn to document them, memorize them. Those appraisals they've been giving you, learn to document each and everything. Those warning letters they've been giving you, learn to document everything. Those contracts you're signing, those new targets you're signing, those clientele you're bringing, learn to document everything at every given time. Why am I saying so? You might end up using them in defense, because in company politics, they tend to assume because you don't know, or because you assumed, or because you forgot, they'll try to take advantage of you. So learn also to document these small things, those WhatsApp messages. If you feel maybe your phone can get lost, screenshot, send it into one of your email addresses. That's a way of protecting yourself in future, because you don't know what holds tomorrow. Another point is strategic communication and timing. Learn when to answer a question, when to ask a question, who to ask that question, when to ask that particular question, and how to phrase it, and what kind of answers do you expect. And if an answer come and you didn't expect, learn to say you take it under advisement. Many times we offend the wrong people. Many times we ask the wrong question at the wrong time. For example, maybe there's a salary delay. You're there out busting to your manager. Why is there a salary delay? The next day they'll ask you, we paid you early. Why are you not performing? You told us that by this particular time, 3 months time, you shall start bringing numbers. Why not? Learn when to ask a question. Even in a family gathering. As I said earlier on in the beginning of this video, even in families, there's what you call politics. Learn when to ask a question. Who are you asking this question? What is their mood? What answers are you expecting? Once you start learning these small attributes, one way or another you find your way inside this company politics. And again, we're not saying company politics, but no. Company politics, because you know who to put on your defense. You know who is on your side and who's not your side. Who to step on and who not to step on. When to approach, when not to approach. When to ask, when not to ask a question. Another thing, make your effort to come like effortless, like you've not even put too much hard work on it. If you can manage to solve a certain issue without making noise and without jittering a lot of feathers or scratching people's nerve, learn how to do that. So when they ask, I thought so and so never did, I just say I did it and also forward it to my next supervisor. Learn to work in silence. Do not show you that you put a lot of effort. Even me, I went and called them. I had to use my own fare. The company say we've been providing for you tea, we're providing for you lunch, and you hardly perform. So do we call it a tit for tat? No. Learn to work and do not show how much strength or how much connection you have to achieving a certain goal. You'll find some people, maybe a certain salesperson or a certain sales girl or a certain manager does not know how to go and pitch a certain client somewhere. But because you know someone who knows this particular individual, you tend to boast, I have their phone numbers. They can only talk to me. No. Call that person who's you know you can reach them. Tell them so and so is calling you. Kindly just show them some leniency. Let the word reach out from behind, indirectly, not directly. Let your influence not be seen directly, Most of us like boasting because you know a prominent person, so I know how you can maneuver so that you can be given those privileges. No. Company politics, let the seniors shine when it comes to such instances. If you know your contacts well, learn how to use them in a very slow manner. Do not show that you're putting too much of. Do not show that you have to put too much strength on it. That I have to make this phone call. I had to use my own fare. I had to travel from point A to point B. Now I need a refund. If the company starts asking for a refund from you, you know who will lose. Because again, remember, the company has got all the resources at its disposal. It can never, there's no company I've had that make losses. Another thing is handling jealousy and taking credit. Yeah, I know this one will scratch some nerve where, because many a times we find ourselves that you've done something and you are the one who deserves all this credit, but unfortunately the person who's on top of you, your supervisor or your next manager or your line manager or your sister or your brother, whoever is on top of you, because of either they're elderly or either they've stayed in that company for quite some time, they end up taking all this credit. Learn how to control your jealousy. Many a time jealousy takes over our emotions, and our emotions take over our judgment, and any judgment that is based on emotions mostly appear to be very wrong. Learn how to control your jealousy, more so when it's applying on family. It depends. Your mom knows very well who to call and who not to call, who usually says this thing or tells this thing, and who that. I'm sure you've seen most of the time your mom or your parents, they tend to cling on one side when it comes to certain matters. Then when it comes to certain matters, they cling on you. One way or another, maybe you'll find yourself in a very awkward position. You'll be like, kwani am I not, kwani I'm the only child here? Am I the only one who cannot? No. Learn how to control your jealousy. Do not show it. Do not even show it in expression. Maybe your boss is supposed to be taking the credit to your directors because you performed a certain thing or you brought a certain client on board. Let them shine. But let your result come out indirectly. Most of the time, if you tend to portray like you're trying to shine, you've had that rule where never outshine your master. If you try to outshine them, most of the time they tend to feel that you are demoralizing or insubordination. No, many a time just learn how to work on your jealousy, learn how to confront the conflicts that are coming on your winnings or something that you've achieved. Last but not least, we have staying neutral in conflicts. Now this one is very bad because many a times we find ourselves you have to take sides in company politics, in company conflicts, all these things. You have to know which side to take. Many a times appear neutral. And if worse comes to worse, make sure you're not in that conversation, because it can be used against you in future. Mostly where the HR is involved, make sure you play very smart. Nowadays, there's these procedures. We say that if someone has done a mistake and they've been given a verbal warning or written warning, they're supposed to be called as a witness to support one of the other colleagues. Make sure you know what you're going to talk about. Make sure whatever you're going to say cannot put a disclaimer. It should not be used against you today or in future. Learn when to produce attention or cause attention and not and the time to withdraw. Many times we find ourselves that a conflict, an issue has happened, and because one of the participants in this particular two people is your friend or your relative or your spouses, you tend to cling on one side. Make a decision that you know it will not hurt each and or the other party. By doing so, you don't appear partisan. You don't appear to have already, maybe you are aware of such an issue that was supposed to happen, or you want one of the party members and they're expecting you to be on the side. No, never appear to be partisan in any side. When it comes to mostly company politics, even family conflict, never appear to be on cleaning on someone's side, because you don't know. Today it's their turn, tomorrow it's their turn, and they say, hey, last time you never came through for me. Last but not least, no one wins alone. You want to go very fast? Walk alone. You want to go very far, a far distance? You have to walk with people. Rome wasn't built in one day, and it was built with a lot of people. Learn each and every time not to fight any battle alone. It doesn't count, it doesn't pay when you're working alone. Because if you build a fortress and you build a high walls to surround yourself, in case of trouble, it will be too high for some people to climb up and come and save you. People of the internet, call to action. What am I saying? Learn how to deal with company politics. Yes, they're healthy, some are unhealthy. Learn how to maneuver in them. Find your ways through them. You can never say that you can work alone. You're the person who knows each and every clientele outside there. You're the person who knows how to drive. You're the person who knows how to pitch clients because your brother knows there or you're good. No. Share out those contacts. Let other people shine on your behalf. At the end of the day, a smart person, a smart director will know who brought up this particular client on board, who made this thing very possible. Because to some extent, when these people try to shine in front there, to some extent they should mention you. Let's assume it's a project you guys are pitching another client, and the client comes to the table. Definitely the client is saying, I met Kunguru, but I'm seeing someone else. Where's Kunguru? It's Kunguru introduced me to this company. As much as it's so who brought you on board, your efforts will be seen. Learn to always be silent when it comes to conflict resolution. You don't have to respond to anything. Learn who to ask a question, when to ask a question, how to ask a question, and what kind of answer you expect. Don't say, no, I'm not satisfied, again, go guns blazing. It might backfire you. Each and every time, learn how to work with this thing that it will help you. Thank you very much for joining. If you're watching this video for the first time, kindly just subscribe. Like this particular video, and you find anything that is resonating with you, or you want to add some points, just put in the comment section. Check you out in the next one. Peace.